just confirm Artie starting in goal.
Dan, your team's given up 3 shorthanded goals, which is one of the highest figures in the league. But at the same time, too, you're second in the league at the conversion rate. I'm sure you'd always want to see that shorthanded figure come down. But are you willing to live with that when they are converting and creating chances as they are?
I mean, I think it's always something. Each one, I think, is a little bit different. I mean, I think necessarily we're going for a loose puck. We got to work above it. We got to work back on it. We got to try to get numbers. Numbers are obviously in our favor on the ice there. It's something that I thought last night was a problem, not just the goal against, but also there was other chances that we gave up. So, it's not something we're going to live with. I think it's something we're going to look to continue to correct.
Dan, you guys have done a very good job preventing goals. I'm sure you'd want to deflect the credit on players, but how would you describe what they've been able to do in order to keep that number as low as it is?
Yeah, well, I think number one, I think our goaltending has played a big role in that there. All the guys that have been in net, they've done a good job this year. I think it's something we're talking about a lot. Like, as a group, we practice it. I still think it's an area there that we need to improve. I think it's an area that we're continuing to look at. I think there's been some stretches there. I think where it's been better, but I think it's still an area there, where I think especially it's the quality that you're giving up, and so we're happy that number is low. I think the goalies have played a big part in that, and I think guys too. I think when we're on our game, I think that it's been good and the commitment's been there and guys have been back and in good spots.
This is a bit off topic, but Kurt McDonald, Wilkes-Barre is one of the best teams in the American League right now. Any impressions of what he's been able to do there, particularly with a lineup that's been in flux, given some of the recalls and things like that they've had to deal with?
Yeah, no, huge credit to Kirk and his entire staff. We got to spend a lot of time together there, prior to training camp and then during training camp. And I think he's, the entire staff there, they do a fantastic job. And that's, in that league too, you see it. They're winning games and they're developing. And you can see that because the guys that have been coming up there, they're ready to play. They're in a good position to jump into the lineup and to execute a role. So they've been doing that while at the same time, winning games. And they've been winning it with, it seems like a different lineup just about every night. And so, they've done a great job. Really impressed there with the entire staff, and we got to spend some time together.
Coach, do you anticipate making any of the other lineup changes aside from the goalie tonight?
No.
Coach, obviously not the result you wanted against these guys last time. Just what are the keys to making sure you're able to come away with 2 points in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think that game, there was the front part of it, the first 2 periods there were obviously really strong, and then the third period it wasn't, and it got away from us, and it got away from us quick. I think this is a team, too, that you got to making sure, and I feel like I say the same thing most nights, but it is you got to make sure that I think based on our positional play, based on our structure, making sure that we're not giving them time and space. This is a team where the more that we can have the puck and possess the puck, the better off that we're going to be. The details need to be there against them because they got some dangerous players, and you don't want to be giving them time and space. And that's going to be based on where we are on the ice, getting above, but it's also going to be a lot based on our decisions with the puck.
Dressed 9 rookies this year. I'm sure you anticipated some of that coming in the job, just given where the Penguins were as an organization. But did you anticipate that much this early? And is there anything different you have to do in terms of instruction with a rookie compared to maybe a veteran who's in his 30s?
No, I mean it's, I think it's, like coming in here, I think it's just making sure that when the guys are coming in, especially initially, that they're ready to go out there and make an impact. I think that it can be one of the biggest things here for a young player. They got to go play their game. I think sometimes it's a little bit of, some guys might try to dip their toes in the water a little bit, but I think it's, I think that's, and I'll give credit to the guys that have been coming through and the guys that have been, the rookies that have been in the lineup there. Overall, we want them in there, but we want them to play their game and have the mindset that you're going to go in there and you're going to make an impact on the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach.